I've been running a software consultancy for 3 years, and I've been recording every single day for the better part of a year now. Um, and today is just one of those days where I'm doing a small update and a small recording on essentially just what's going on. And most of my day, honestly, was spent running family errands and things, nothing particularly special. Um, did some work in the morning. I then had to move around a little bit and help out with some stuff. And then I spent a lot of the rest of my time with family or just catching up on some little work. I did a little bit, I did a couple of meetings. I had a call as well with some team members later in the day. And right now I'm thinking a lot about so I'm not currently in London, I'm in Lisbon, back in Lisbon. And in London, a big part of my work right now is reaching out and creating relationships and things like that. That's not really majorly possible at this time. Everybody, it's the middle of December. Everybody's kind of starting to slow things down. And I'm not even physically there. I can't go to parties. I can't go to events, things like that. And so I'm using this time to really double down on systems around content. Basically being able to try and specifically focus on Twitter and LinkedIn, because these two platforms are really good for the work that I do, which is B2B. LinkedIn is incredible as a platform for this kind of stuff. Um, and so I'm just focused on building better systems. And like, I realized that system building is something I'm really good at, and I haven't employed that skill as much as I could. And so I'm pretty excited about that. So just like literally making things stupid easy, making them really, really hard to fail at, looking at like tracking more performance, getting more numbers, more data. This is something I'm doing. So starting to track, performance, formats, uh, different types of things. Like, it's all stuff that I'm working on and I'm very, very excited about. Um, like, I think I've said this many times before, but I have many times felt very frustrated with my lack of speed, my lack of progress fast. I think that's in general a problem that I have internally, like that I feel like I'm in a rush when I really shouldn't be, and I need to be patient. This is one of the things. But I will also say, like, even though maybe I haven't moved as fast as I wanted, I have grown way more than I could have imagined. And I feel so much more competent to solve things, so much more well equipped to make better decisions and processes than I did before. And that's something that's really, really exciting to me. Like I understand the inputs now. I feel this way. I feel like every single year I reflect back on the previous year. Like, I keep a massive Notion document where I write what are my current problems, challenges, thinking, things like that. I've been doing that for many years. And I can really see the evolution of my thinking. And every single year I feel like significantly better equipped to take on challenges and actually figure things out. And I think like that's something really exciting to me. So I'm very, very excited about next year. I think I'm starting to understand a lot more about how to make things move. Also, one of the big lessons I would say, honestly, is it's just volume. Like, volume is a massive, massive common denominator across pretty much making anything happen. It's just a lot of it. Like, an Olympic athlete just does a lot of whatever their sport is, like insane amounts. They just do a bunch of it. And I think one of the, like, to be honest, these videos were, I think, a great example of that. I just did a bunch of them. Like, I just did loads and loads and loads. And there are plenty of videos and there's plenty of evidence online. You go to Mr. Beast and he'll tell you, if you just make one video that's really good, it'll, 100x a video that's only kind of average. 100% true. Couldn't agree more. Problem is, to get started, you need to get consistent. You need to get the reps in. Mr. Beast understands what makes a better video, and so he can spend more time in the preparation. And I ignored all of that advice and I just said, fuck it, I'll do something every day, even if it's really bad, which it was, and it still is. Um, but I think that was one of the best calls I could have made, because now, like, it's reframed a lot of things, because it just made me realize how volume, I think, is a precondition for you to get good at something, um, even slightly better. And in my business, I think I've learned this as well. But in business, there's too many variables. It makes it very easy to switch and do other things, and that's one of the big mistakes that I've spoken a lot about. It's like I kept switching things. For because I specifically chose YouTube, I wasn't going to do content or whatever. I wanted to just do little long form videos. It made the inputs really easy. When I wanted to do volume of inputs, it was just okay. We'll just do more. Um, and I wasn't thinking about should I do more short form and long form and written and what? No, no, no. I was just focused on one thing. That made it really easy. Um, yeah, and applying the same philosophy, like I think volume is a very big lesson that I'm taking into next year that I'm very, very excited to apply. Volume and also, to be honest, like I just have to be more cutthroat about where my time goes. I spent most of my working months this year were dedicated to a particular client project that wanted me specifically. And that was great. They gave me good money, whatever, but fundamentally, that was at the cost of my being able to work on other things. And I didn't force myself to carve out time for the marketing work that I needed to do. And so that was a big, I think this year I could have moved faster because I had already learned some of these lessons and I had already seen some of these lessons, but I didn't force time to apply them. So yeah, I learned a lot, and I'm excited to apply next year. So that said, tomorrow I've got a busy day full of calls. Tuesday's my meetings day. I've got that. Some at-home stuff I gotta do, and then work. Nothing special. Just normal day. I think also another reflection I've been just keeping in mind a lot is like I'm trying to be more content with less. It gives you much more patience, and one of the things I've realized really is like your ability to live with less lets you play with so much more, like so much more. If I'm able to continue living at the light, like so right now, my business brings in about 20 grand a month. I spend about four personally, or less, four or less. Um, I pay myself for, and I don't want to pay myself more. I'd like to keep it at that level, um, because if I can keep it at that level, it gives me if my business doubles or triples, it gives me so much more to play with for the business. Like if I'm not worried about trying to buy fancy things and like I get the pleasure of buying something nice every once in a while, but I 100% have the tendency. I have the like anybody else. I have a little bit of that craving, but I think I'm becoming acutely aware of how my ability to keep that down and to not listen to that voice telling me to go show it off is incredibly beneficial if I can stick to it. Yeah, every once in a while you spend a little, you splash out a little bit. Sure, it's not going to hurt anybody, but sure as hell it gives you more to play with if you manage not to for longer. And so, yeah, that's like a big thing. I don't know. I'm not really like a good purchase that's expensive but that you use a lot is worth it. So, I have a suitcase that's like a metal suitcase. And it was definitely more expensive than your average suitcase. But man, I use it and I love it. I'm really, really happy with it. Like it was really worth it for me because I use it all the time. It's very durable. Crucially, actually, because it's metal, I can sit on it, which is nice. Because when I'm standing in queues and stuff, I can sit, which is a weird benefit, but it's great. But I don't know. It's like that was something that I really don't regret spending the money. However, I think there are certain things where sometimes really people are just splashing out to show off, and I think that is worthwhile to try and avoid if possible. Buy cars in secondhand. Like I don't know, there's no. I don't think there's any pride in showing off how wasteful you can be. Um, like live comfortably, sure, but if you can be comfortable with less, I think you can do much more. That's my take on it. But anyway, in any case, I'm gonna call it a night, and I'm gonna head to sleep. Feel free to comment. I record every day, so I try and read those and make videos if they're good.